What's going on, Year 10s? Just going to show you guys a quick video on how you guys can research and find some evidence and some information a little bit easier than what you're currently already probably doing. I've just got the task sheet up here and I've highlighted the three claims that you can choose from. Hopefully by now you've all had a good read through all three of them and maybe have already chosen one and have done a bit of research on it already and have started to refine it to something that you think you want to start to research. But I know that a lot of you have probably just taken the claim and gone, I need to find information on this, copied it, gone straight into Google, pasted it, read through this and gone, oh, why can't I find what I'm looking for? That's because you're probably not going to find it doing that. Okay, we need to learn how to research effectively. Okay, so go to Google Scholar. Okay, you can literally just go to Google and type Google Scholar and Google Scholar and it'll come up. And then from here, what you can do is you can add in keywords. Okay, so if I bring back up here the claim, the first one here, humans can control evolution more effectively than nature, I can start adding in these keywords here and go, you know what, I want to look at evolution. I also want to look at maybe the evolution of animals. Okay, so I'm going to write a big in caps lock and animals. Now what this and is going to do, okay, is it's going to give me all the journal articles that have mentioned both evolution and animals. Okay, it's not if you just put if you put nothing there, evolution of animals, okay, then what's going to happen is you're going to get a bunch of articles that either have the word animal or the word evolution in it. Okay, and then you're going to be bombarded with millions of things about animals that have nothing to do with evolution. Okay, so evolution and animals. Okay, and or you can type the words or. Okay, and that will mean and I can type in, let's say, plants. Okay, and then what that's going to do is it's going to give me all the articles that mention evolution and as well either the word animals or the word plants. So by doing that, I can narrow my search down of articles that talk about the evolution of animals or the evolution of plants. Okay, I can type in there and say, or, no, actually no, and genetic, genetically modified. Okay, or GMO, which is genetically modified organism, or CRISPR, CRISPR technology. Okay, I've just chucked a bunch in there, and what that's going to do is it's going to give me a whole bunch of articles, okay, that have those parameters. Alright, genetically modified plants, the debate continues. The impact of hybrids between genetically modified crop plants and their related species. Okay, now looking through this, it's probably just going to give you a whole bunch of information. You're probably going to have to read through this. Searching things this broad probably isn't going to get you the evidence that you need to do to refine and have a refined research question. Okay, it's probably just going to give the information that you can read through to then get an idea of the more refined research question that you're actually going to do. Another cool thing that Google Scholar actually has though is you can search by time on the site here. You can see by looking at this was under year 2000, this was 2008, 1994, 1994, etc. If we're wanting to talk about new age technology and how we can only just now start controlling evolution better than say nature can, I probably don't want an article that's based from 1994 because any of that evidence that I'm going to get from that or the information I'm going to get for that it probably isn't going to be relevant to our assignments. So you can actually put here, go look since 2016 or even since 2019, and look through this and look, see when as soon as I do that, things like CRISPR start popping up, because we know that's only started happening quite recently. CRISPR directed evolution. Okay, I can look through this, start reading through here. Okay, and see any if it gives me any important information and stuff that I can read through. Okay. Also, what it can also do here, let's say this is a really good article. Okay, it's came out in 2019. Let's say that I found this really informational and helpful, but it wasn't exactly what I'm looking for. There's a little button here that says cited by 20. That means 20 other people have other articles that actually cited this article, I mean have used this article to write their own journal article. So you can click that and that'll actually give you all the other articles that has cited and used that one as a reference. So there might be some very similar stuff in here that you can use to help narrow down and find some evidence. Another form of resource that you can use, if you pop over to here, like you've all probably seen from your normal home screen, and you click the library tool, it's going to take you to the library. Now, what you can do, you can chuck in, I'm just going to copy and paste this over. Let's look at evolution, plants, and genetically modified. Come over here, let's just type this in here, and click search. Okay, it's going to give you a bunch of stuff, books, random things, not going to be useful for you at all. Okay, you need to click the button here that says search other sources, just on the right of the big search bar. If you click that, it'll give you all these checks. I'm going to unclick the local library, the databases, videos, encyclopedias. What I am going to do is I'm going to choose some of these. Trove is the National Australian Library, and I'm also going to look at the JSTOR journal, which is going to give me a bunch of journal articles as well. If I click those two and then I click search, what's going to happen is you'll see it's going to open two new tabs for me. Okay, this one here is going to show me a bunch of 6,778 other more journal articles. I can search by journal articles, I can search by book chapters, okay, or research reports, which is probably going to be nice and handy for you guys, okay, and you can start looking at other journal articles and reading through this, wild genetically modified crops, etc., etc., okay. It should have brought up the library one. I didn't want to bring up the library one. Let's try Trove again. There we go. The National Library of Australia, even more. Okay, and you can search for articles, reports, etc., and read through these, and there's going to be heaps more here. There is going to be a bit of reading. You don't have to read everything. Okay, it's quite easy to read the title of it and know if it's going to be useful to you or not, and just be able to skim through some of these. You want to be looking for actual quantitative data. And by quantitative data, I mean you want to look for tables and graphs. Okay, your evidence, your main source of evidence, and you only need one source of evidence, guys. Only one source of evidence is needed. Okay, if you can find one good table or graph which shows clear evidence on backing up what your research investigation question is going to be, then that's all you need. Okay, but it does have to be quantitative. Quantitative meaning have a numeric value to it in some way. Okay, you can't just read a report and go, oh yeah, this guy's really smart, he says some things, that's going to be my evidence. Okay, it has to be a table or a graph or quantitative data, a numeric thing which you can put basis to. Okay, so use Google Scholar, use probably these two search engines here from the library. Okay, start reading through some of these journal articles and reports, okay, and start narrowing down your search. Okay, ideally you want to have it narrowed down to something very, very, very specific, and then once you have that, you can then write your research question based already off the evidence that you have found. Okay, you want to find your evidence first. You want to have a table or a graph or evidence that is clear there that you can then use to then write your research question. So then you know you've perfectly answered it because you already have found that information. Okay, so happy researching, guys, and I'll talk to you next lesson.